everybody, Mrs. Garza here. Okay, so welcome to Monday. It is October 19th. Today, your objective, your goal is to be able to define and use grade level vocabulary in an article. First, we're going to work on simple sentences, and then we're going to focus on 4 vocabulary words: fluency, fatigue, tutelage, and objective. Okay, task number 1. We are going to talk about sentence types. So we're looking at simple sentences. A simple sentence has 2 parts to it. It has a subject, who or what is doing the action, and it has a predicate, the action that's being done. So who or what is the sentence about for the subject, and the predicate is what's happening, what's the action. So an example, the skeletons plus danced all night long creates a sentence. The skeletons is the subject, and the predicate, the action, what the subject is doing, is danced all night long. So pretty basic, so we're just going to practice this a little bit. In our live session, we would come up with 3 examples on our own, but for right now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a couple of examples since you are not live and you cannot come up with sentences with us, so I'm going to come up with some simple sentences. Let's see. Mrs. Garza ate Thai food. So in this sentence, the subject, the who or what that the sentence is about, is Mrs. Garza. Who is it about? It's about me. I'm going to drag and drop that right there, Mrs. Garza. Now the next question is, what is the predicate? The predicate being the action. What did our subject do? Our subject, me, ate Thai food. So there's our predicate. Next example. Oh, I messed up. Okay. She loves to eat chicken pad thai. Okay, so who is our sentence about? Our sentence is about she. Now the next question is, what's the action? What is she doing? She loves to eat chicken pad thai. Okay, so we have our subject, she. What does she do? She loves to eat chicken pad thai. Next one. Let's see. Mr. Garza, being my husband, loves Thai food. Mr. Garza is excited to eat Thai food tonight. So, who is this sentence about? This sentence is about Mr. Garza. What is he doing? What is his action? His action is being excited to eat Thai food tonight. So he is the action, excited to eat Thai food tonight. So there are our subjects and predicates. Subject, who or what the sentence is about. Predicate is the action. So what is our subject doing? Okay, you are going to go into Schoology and you are going to complete the grammar practice. It's in the form of an assessment, but it's just practice to see where you're at with simple sentences, so that way we can cater our lessons to your needs. Okay, pause right here, and when you return, you are going to read an article. Okay, we're reading an article by Ta-Nehisi Coates. It's called A Quick Note on Getting Better at Difficult Things. Here's a little bit of background. Ta-Nehisi Coates is an American writer, journalist, and educator. Coates is a correspondent for The Atlantic who often writes about cultural, social, and political issues, especially as they relate to African Americans. In this text, Coates discusses how to get better at difficult things and shares his own struggles learning a new skill. As you read, take note of the obstacles the author encounters and how he overcomes them. So I want you thinking as we go through this, it's called A Quick Note on Getting Better at Difficult Things, so all of us have to get better at things in life. That's just part of life. We learn stuff, we have to get better at it in order to be successful with whatever it is we're doing. So think about that as we read this article. I'm going to read it to you, and then we are going to look at some vocabulary words. Okay. I have been studying the French language with some consistency for 3 years. This field of study has been, all at once, the hardest and most rewarding of my life. I would put it above the study of writing simply because I started writing as a 6-year-old boy under my mother's tutelage. I always felt I could write. I did not always feel I could effectively study a foreign language. But here I am, right now, in a Montreal hotel. I spoke French at the border. I spoke French when I checked in. I spoke French when I went to get lunch. I don't really believe in fluency. If there is such a thing, I don't have it. I mishear words. I confuse tenses. I can't really use a subjunctive. Yet, something has happened to me, and something is this. I've gotten better. I don't know when I first felt it. I didn't feel it all this summer at Middlebury, despite the difference in my entrance and exit scores. I didn't feel it when I first arrived in Paris in January. I felt, as I always feel, like I was stumbling around in the dark. I still feel like that, but I also feel like I'm getting better at stumbling. So here we have on this first slide, we have him saying, I'm learning French, and I've been studying it for a while, consistently, not off and on, but regularly. He's been studying it, and it's different than his writing. He always knew he could write. Writing is just something that came naturally to him. But he didn't always feel like he could learn another language, which is an obstacle a lot of adults feel like is insurmountable. It's hard to achieve. So he's talking about how he didn't always feel like he could speak French. But now all of a sudden he's in a French-speaking country or French-speaking portion of Canada, and he spoke French to everybody. And he's talking about being fluent in French and how he doesn't feel like he's quite fluent yet. But wow, when I went to school to study it, my scores have improved. Even though I didn't feel like I was getting better, my scores still improved. So he's gotten better despite feeling like he hasn't gotten better. I feel like that's a feeling we can all relate to at some point in time. I'm emphasizing how I feel because when studying, it is as important as any objective reality. Hopelessness feeds the fatigue that leads the student to quit. It is not the study of language that is hard, so much as the feeling that your present level is who you are and who you will always be. I remember returning from France at the end of the summer of 2013 and being convinced that I had some kind of brain injury which prevented me from hearing French vowel sounds. But the real enemy was not an injury so much as the feeling of despair. That is why I ignore all the research about children and their language advantage. I don't want to hear it, I just don't care. As Caroline Forche would say, I'm going to have it. So he's saying it's not our abilities or inability that prevents us from succeeding, but our feeling that we're not that great really holds us back. To have it, I must manage my emotional health. Part of that long-term management beyond French is giving myself an opportunity to get better at difficult things. There's absolutely nothing in this world like the feeling of sucking at something and then improving it. Everyone should do it every 10 years or so. So he's saying, sometimes we're just not good at things, and then whenever you work really hard and giving yourself an opportunity to actually get better at it, then that's an outstanding feeling when you're improving. You felt like you sucked at it, and then all of a sudden you're getting better at it. It's a great feeling. So he recommends you try it. I don't know what comes after this. I've said this before, and I will say it again. Studying French is like studying in a canoe from California to China. You arrive on the coast of Hawaii and think, wow, that was really far. And then you realize that China is still so very far away. Feelings come and go. Likely someone will say something in the next hour or so, which I do not understand, and I will feel a little hopeless again. But right now, I feel high, and one must savor those moments of feeling high because they are not the norm. The lows are the norm. The struggle is the norm. May it ever be thus. So he's pretty much saying, right now, I know I'm nowhere near done studying French. I know I'm not fluent. I know I'm not perfect at it. But I just achieved a goal and I just improved, and that's a great feeling. And I need to enjoy that feeling while I can, because soon I'm going to encounter another struggle. So essentially he's telling you about how there are difficult things, but the beauty in it is the feeling and the reward of noticing yourself finally getting better and improving at something that you thought you never could get better at. So that was his quick note on getting better at things. Now there's some words in there that are a little bit confusing, so we are going to do some vocabulary practice. You are going to use the context clues in this article to find the meaning of the words. So for the first one, I would put it above the study of writing simply because I started writing as a 6-year-old under my mother's tutelage. What do you think tutelage means? So you're going to type your response there. What context clues did you use to help you? So what words up here in this sentence helped you to figure that out? And then you're going to go and find a picture that represents the word tutelage to you, and you're going to copy and paste it in here. You're going to do the same thing For the word fluency, I spoke French when I checked in. I spoke French when I went to get lunch. I didn't really believe in fluency. Same thing, definition. What context clues helped you? And insert the picture here. Number 3, I am emphasizing how I feel because when studying, it is as important as any objective reality. Definition of objective. What context clues helped you figure it out? And copy and paste the picture there. And the last one. Hopelessness feeds the fatigue that leads the student to quit. Put the definition there. What context clues did you use to figure it out? And copy and paste your picture. And bravocado, you're done. Yay! So, if you have any questions, if you need help with any of this, we are happy to talk through it with you. Hop back on the Zoom if you are going to join in on the live sessions. Or send us a message or an email, and we are happy to help. We hope you have a great Monday.